Once again the Cid emerged victorious and delivered the city to King Alfonso. Moor and Christian alike shouted his name from the city walls and named him El Cid Campeador, my lord, the conqueror. After nearly 400 years of Moorish rule, the city of Toledo was ruled by a Christian king. But still, Alfonso was not satisfied. He accused the Cid of seeking personal glory at the expense of the crown. When he heard the peasants shouting the name of the Cid instead of Alfonso's own name, he became even more angered. I knew then that our contented lives in Castile were about to end. King Alfonso sent his most loyal and able servant Rodrigo Diaz the Cid into exile with only his horse Bavieca. Myself and our 2 daughters were left at the monastery in Castile. When Rodrigo and I parted, it felt like a nail being torn from its finger. Rodrigo rode alone into the Castilian winter. He was not alone for long. Everywhere the Cid went, mercenaries and soldiers were eager to follow. Soon he had a small army of his own. But the Cid was not content to wander the wilds of Castile forever. He needed a castle and a lord to serve. This too he found in the most unlikely of places. Motamid, Lord of Zaragoza, was a gifted leader of men, but like many of the Moors, he was also a poet and artist. The cultural achievements of the Moors made the rest of Europe seem barbaric by comparison. As the Cid parleyed with Lord Motamid in his sumptuous palace, he feasted on meals that came floating down an indoor stream. Motamid bestowed rich gifts on the Cid and made him a wealthy man. But the Cid, ever the loyal servant of Castile, convinced Motamid to ratify a treaty making Zaragoza part of Castile. The Cid never fought openly against King Alfonso, though he did make enemies with Count Berenguer and other Spanish lords who wanted only tributes of gold from the Moors and were not interested in making alliances with them. Count Berenguer would remain the Cid's enemy for many years. King Alfonso watched with alarm as the combined Christian-Moorish forces of the Cid gained power and prestige. Finally, he could stand it no longer and sent his own army against Motamid's Moors at Zaragoza. As much as he would have liked to come to the assistance of his friend Motamid, the Cid could not draw steel against King Alfonso, as he was still the Cid's rightful lord. Since the Cid could not assist him, Motamid was forced to seek help elsewhere. When he contacted the Berbers who lived beyond the sea in Gibraltar, however, he received more than he bargained for. These veiled religious zealots waged a continuous jihad across the barren dunes of the Sahara. Their leader, the fanatical Yusuf, who never showed his face, immediately prepared to cross the ocean into Spain with thousands of men and camels. King Alfonso's army was certain to crumble beneath this new wave of invaders. Alfonso needed only have mentioned that Spain was in jeopardy, and the Cid would have come. And when the Cid did finally come to his king's aid, the Berbers were crushed, and their leader Yusuf was forced to flee back to Africa. The Cid bowed to Alfonso, ready to return to his rightful place as the king's champion. But King Alfonso was angered that the Cid had not arrived sooner, and ordered him to return to his exile. This time, he seized the Cid's wife and children. Many